The game itself is a game of like infinite creativity, where you can just use almost any portion of the court to be able to kind of show what you can do on the inside. And I think that's what's been really, really cool, is like you get to see personalities really come alive. You get to see who's a team player, you get to see who's the star, you get to see all of the things that so many people like in another context would hide about themselves. You get to see those things happen in real time. And for me, it allows me to be able to see Zimbabwe itself as just a place of infinite creativity. So The Best in the City is a story set in Zimbabwe about a young basketball player who gets a chance to make his mark on the city and also kind of like help out his family through something that he loves and he enjoys. And it's a story that really just kind of came from really the last like year of my life being in Zimbabwe and just getting to connect with people around me through the game of basketball, and just through playing like with some of the younger guys in my old neighborhood. I just started feeling this story kind of coming to life. So I sat down one day and just started writing out, and the thing that came out was The Best in the City. Tino is a little bit of kind of like a typical like underdog character, but really he's kind of like a fictionalized version of a little bit of how I saw myself, and also just kind of like an embodiment a little bit of like just what I saw in mass and just in the kids around me, where it's like just this talented, fiery, kind of expressive person who was just looking for a chance to be able to show what he can do. So he was really just kind of like inspired a little bit by how I've always kind of like seen my home, where it's a place of a lot of beauty, a lot of really cool things, and just like this untapped potential. Like Zimbabwe is a place that has gone through a lot, more than a lot of places. And at our core, there's still this tenacity, there's still this, there's this desire to do things well. There's this desire to still be known for who we are. And there's this desire to be able to just make our communities proud. Like we have this term called hunu, which is personhood. And it's kind of like how our culture kind of just like imparts our values amongst each other, and the fact that we still have that, even having gone through the things that we've gone through, speaks to the fact that there's this belief that there's always more than what your circumstances just may have to offer. And I think that's what's really exciting. I think that's what's inspiring for me, is like, for some of these guys, like, it would make a lot more sense for them to be out hustling, to be out figuring out how to make money, to be able to do this, but they're like, no, I'm gonna go and dedicate myself to throwing a ball in a hoop until something cracks out in my life. And the pride that they have when they put on their school colors, or the pride that they have when they go to another neighborhood just to be able to play ball and see who's gonna be the best. Like, that to me is still inspiring, because filmmaking is not an easy career. It is not something where there is a roadmap for you to be able to get from one step to the other. There's going to be a lot of self-belief that looks like delusion at points, but when you get to see something that came from an internal part of you be watched by somebody else, and they say, hey, that made me feel something, that is the greatest feeling in the world to me. And I want to be able to offer that to not just the young guys who play basketball with me at home, but also the people who've been supportive of my career so far, to my family, to the people that are proud of me, to the people that say, hey, David doesn't want to be a filmmaker, David is a filmmaker, and then the people beyond, because I believe there is a big wide world out there that is just in need of stories that make them feel good about the world that they live in. And I feel like if that was more on the menu, I feel like life would be a lot easier to live than what we currently have.